You're live.
Go ahead. Hey guys, Facebook Live, awesome, and we're going to be on wildfireradio.com. We'll repost it. I am here with COO, that's right, Chief Operating Officer of Quinn Broadcasting, and that is Zach Reed. Hey Zach, how's it going?
John, how are you today?
If I was any better, I'd be you, brother. Look at you, man.
I know, man.
You're the epitome of whatever. Is it showing up? It is showing up there. Is it showing up on which page is that?
It's on your personal page.
On my personal page.
Which is fine. I think
Which
it's
is
great.
weird, because I'm the only one that doesn't see it.
I know.
Um,
I see it. It's right here. 3 people are watching.
is it on the John Harris page?
It is.
Well, that's awesome, folks. It's great. I don't see it, but hey, who am I, really? I'm going to take a look and see if it's anywhere else. Hello, McFly. It's not there. Well, as long as you guys see it, and as long as you guys are going to listen to it, it's going to be great. Zach and I will have a great time. If you guys want to interact with us when I get it, you can. And, of course, Zach can see it, too, so we can both kind of interact with you guys. It'd be great if you have questions. And we're going to talk about some things here in this hour that is going to be a lot of fun, I think. Commercial free, Zach, for right now.
Commercial free.
Commercial free.
It sounds like we have no sponsorships.
Yeah, that is correct. But actually, Zach, I look at it this way: you're a sponsor, I'm a sponsor, and Quinn's a sponsor. Does it get any better than that for us? I think they're the 3 big important sponsors we should have. If you know what I'm saying.
I've been learning a lot about big threes lately.
Big threes lately.
Let's put it
Oh,
that way.
okay. Well, there's something there for me. Oh, great. Oh,
You find it? You got it?
No, it's not coming up for me.
I'm waiting for the questions.
For the John Harris.
I don't know what to do. I'm never used to being a guest.
It's hard for you to be the guest. But you notice I let you sit in your chair.
I know. I appreciate it because you're
hey,
sort of in my office. So
Hey,
nice.
it is your office, and we appreciate the fact that Zach's letting us into his office while they're working on a project here tonight to actually let us. Oh, here it is. I see. John Harris is live now.
All right, we're ready to go.
We're scary. So we're gonna give this. We're gonna give this a try. Like I said, we're gonna be on for about an hour. So if you have questions for myself or you have questions for Zach, please let us know. It could be anything about Quinn Broadcasting or anything else you feel like asking us, and then we'll decide whether or not we're going to answer them or not. I see Amber Liz joined us. Hey, Amber. Margie Hogan's joined us. Says 2 other people have joined. Can you see who they are, Zach?
I don't see.
I think you. No.
Oh, one of it's you and one of them's me. Well, there's 5 people.
Well, there's 5 people on there now.
But anyway.
And we're growing.
Go ahead.
So you're listening to and watching The Public John right here on wildfireradio.com. We're also on iTunes, and we are obviously on Facebook Live if you're watching us right now. And we'll be posting it on the Public John's new YouTube page.
Awesome.
So we're getting there. Jim Grasso, who's with Wildfire. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Joe Dudek. Yo, what up, Joe? And Margie is there. So, yes, I'm probably not looking at the camera much. And let us know, guys, if you can hear us, but I'm pretty sure you can. I'm adjusting volume levels on certain things for the Wildfire radio equipment while we go. But I'm here talking to Zach Reed. And Zach, we've got something pretty exciting coming up, next week?
Turn your laptop down.
I'm going to turn my laptop down because I can hear myself and realize that I don't like my voice. Until I go full DJ on you, and then, as Zach knows, that's a lot more fun.
Go ahead.
So Zach, we got something pretty exciting coming up, next week, is it?
What's next week?
What's next week? You tell me, my friend.
I'm not sure. You tell me.
When does our new program start?
The Monster Factory?
Yes.
Oh, that doesn't start till January.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, we pushed it.
I thought that. We pushed it back.
We pushed it.
We pushed it back. I didn't know that. But I know we're still taping and filming some great stuff out there. And
we're doing a lot of big things here.
Yeah, we are.
A lot of great, big, huge things.
Tell me a couple of them. Hey, Brian, how's it going?
Well,
Brian's the guy that did my logo.
Is he?
Yes.
He did a great job.
He did a great job.
He looks slimming.
Yes, I like the way Brian did my logo. Don't get me wrong, the head looks big, but that's fine.
You know, I've never heard anyone actually complain about the head being big, John.
That's true. That's true. You know what it is? It's all the massive brain power I have. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take this out and do this because it's more comfortable and I can face you guys a little bit. So even though you probably don't want that. See,
it looks like we're about to do a weird version of karaoke if people are watching.
Yeah, it's not going to
hold
the shark bites. Hey! Yeah, that's the lounge lizard version. You know what I'm saying. Brian, thanks, and thanks for all your help with a few other things. Joe, you can't hear me too well? Is that what you're saying?
Because you got to speak a little louder.
I guess, well, on Facebook, it's got to be on the computers probably. This is only working for Wildfire.
Yeah, it's
So,
coming from the phone.
It's coming from the phone. So, hey Joe, can you hear Zach? Okay.
Brian Clauder said never heard that in his life. That's
What?
sad, Brian. That's sad.
It's
He's
sad
never
that-
heard that.
Never heard. Yeah, we're gonna leave that alone, Brian.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Yep.
If you know what I'm saying.
So go ahead, I'm ready. You can ask me some
So we'll try this. May have to talk loud because Zach is right. We're recording from on a phone on Facebook Live on iPhone. You know, you gotta admit that cameras in phones is probably the greatest invention since Frosted Flakes or something.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't around with Frosted Flakes, but I agree.
Oh no,
I mean,
you still are.
it's
They're there. You
it's
just
so
don't-
funny because everything has been, you know, if you look back in the '90s, TV equipment, for example, was, you know, $9,000 for cameras and thousands of dollars for things. And now studios have become smaller, computers have become smaller, GoPros are a thing that people use now for you know, $1 million productions. And I mean, it's it really is cool how the times have changed.
Yeah, it is.
Even in my brief time that I've been in this business, and it's been about 10 years, that things change, and it's good. It's cost effective, really.
Oh,
you know.
sure. It is. And you know what? For instance, all that modern technology, what it's done too is here's me with a podcast. I threw everything in a duffel bag.
Mm-hmm.
Microphones, the unit that does it, recording, a mixer, everything could fit in a duffel bag. You couldn't do that probably 3-4 years ago. But this new, hey, I guess I'm on there too. Okay.
Nah, I'm just Snapchatting.
He's just Snapchatting me. So the modern technology in it has become a lot of fun thanks to the guys at Wildfire who developed this portable system called the Spark that you can go out and actually go places and do. And that's
I wonder why they
like
named it
this,
the Spark.
being able to come here. I don't know. Jim, that's a good question. Jim Grasso, if you're still on, let me know how you guys came up with the name the Spark, because it's a pretty good question actually. But Natasha Barnett from Philly, she's a Philadelphia comic. She is funny, let me tell you. And I saw her host one night as well, a couple nights actually, or one night I think you hosted, another night I saw you, you weren't hosting but you did a nice set. Natasha's very funny, so you ever get a chance, you see that name, Natasha Barnett, go see her, because she's awesome. Deanna, what's up girl, how you doing girl? Thanks for tuning in here to The Public John. And we appreciate all you guys joining in. If you have questions, please feel free to comment, ask questions. Frank, I'm going to say your name, how it's spelled, Docnell. If that's wrong, please, I would say let me know, but I don't know how you would, outside of phonetically spelling it. So we've got a lot of stuff going on here. We had a pretty good night the other night, even though we worked through some technical glitches with election night.
Well, none of them were our fault. So
No, and they weren't, and we needed. And if anybody on here is watching, a lot of people are starting to join. That's pretty cool. Thanks, folks. We appreciate it. Any support we can get. Must be the popular guest, even though Deanna, hey. I don't know how you would spell hey. Is that all the extra Y?
It's probably H-E-E. I don't know.
It might be H-E-Y-Y-Y-Y-Y.
Maybe.
Hey.
Yeah. So
we got that going for us, which is nice. So hey, Cheryl Boston Reardon, who actually spends a lot of time in this area with environmental stuff, is joined. A friend of mine, Matty Coughlin joined. Matty, you ever get a chance, join? You'll see his name there. Just join his page every so often. He comes out with something that's so funny.
You might get a special guest if I'm listening correctly in my peripheral ears here.
Your peripheral ears? A
My
special
peripheral
guest.
ears sounds
Which
like
is
Jim Quinn's behind me.
Well, we don't know if he's coming in.
He might be walking. He usually walks in my office. He sits down. He's buys me nuggets for
It would be
work.
nice if Jim Quinn came in. That would be awesome. But
You're freeholder.
so
just
listen,
elect it.
well,
Really?
I have to move here
Go ahead.
at some point for him to be my
Maybe.
freeholder. But that could happen. But I'm working here. So I
Listen,
guess
where
that's
do
fine.
you live?
What does that post-it note say behind you on the wall?
Oh, mine?
His.
That's where a picture goes. It says 20 by 24 frame that's going there.
No, he's not OCD or anal, but he's got the measurements of the frame that has to go there.
We were measuring, because we have group pictures that we were taking, and they're here. The pictures are done, but the frames have not came in. If Amber Lynn, if she's watching, remind me we have to order them, because I have yet to order them. I made it such a big deal to get them back, and I've stalled.
And he stalled. That's not good.
It's actually really busy.
Well, we have been, and that's the good part. Is we've been busy between radio and TV, special events we've had to go to. We've been pretty busy, so that's a good thing. I hear footsteps. Do you hear footsteps?
I do hear.
Johnny!
I hear. We're live, Jim
Oh,
Quinn.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
We're
There you
live
go.
on the Public John.
You're
Hey.
live on the Public John.
The
How
Public
are you?
John. I love the fine Public
There it
Johns.
is.
That's good to
That's
have.
it.
You know?
They're always good to have.
Yeah.
Never be too far away
That's true.
from a Public John.
Absolutely.
So I'm here with newly elected county freeholder Jim Quinn.
It's a Covenant County freeholder.
Re-elected.
Re-elected. I should say. You were absolutely
He
correct.
just said he didn't live in this county. I said,
No, I don't.
I know he does not live in this county.
John, we need you.
But don't worry.
Hey, John, you grew up in Morris River Township, and Miss Finola Williams was your favorite teacher.
You know, that's actually
Remember?
true. My
I
fifth
know.
grade teacher,
Yeah.
she was awesome.
I taught for her. I
She
subbed
told me there was
for her.
Sixers game.
You want to sit down? You got a couple minutes?
Sit down for a couple minutes, can't you?
Am I allowed to?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but how come it's like that way?
Well, because we didn't know you were coming, so we're.
Oh, the camera's over
So
there.
what I'm going to do is ask our other guest if he could just
Oh, I'm
change.
sorry.
No, not you. No,
Oh, no,
not
you're
you.
seeing, I'm seeing both of you guys. I'm watching.
Oh, are you? Okay.
You guys are good.
All right, folks, let us know. I'm here with a very special guest, a surprise guest. You were right. It was a
Well, he
surprise
told me I
guest.
had to bring the checks, so that's why
I did. I had to
I'm
bring the
courier.
courier.
That was you're the courier.
Yes, I'm
It's
the
carrier.
courier.
How many-
RMS Jim Quinn.
How many owners are couriers here?
That's right. Is
Beautiful.
Amber Lynn watching?
Amber Lynn just said hi, Jim.
Hi,
That's it.
Amber Lynn. You are wonderful. God bless you. I tell you what, I'm lucky, John,
Yeah.
because I have Amber Lynn, I have you, and I have Zach, and I have Anthony, I have David, all in the building tonight, right?
Right.
Some
Yeah,
great
that's
people.
true.
Payroll's gonna be higher next week. That's for
No,
sure.
no, that's praise,
No,
not
no,
money.
no.
We get poor John. We double his salary. He's still at zero.
Worst part about that is it's true.
Did you see Lou Magazoo when he asked about doubling his salary? I said yes. I was giving him. I should give this to you too. I gave him a $25 gift certificate to Michael's Mediterranean. So I'll give you two of them. So he's getting two.
So yeah, you get two. Hey, way to go, Lou.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations. And Lou, whatever you do, what is it that you don't want him to get, Jim?
Eggplant parm, you know that,
I
John,
know.
because then it won't be there for me. That's
Exactly.
my favorite.
Jim,
We're not
I remember
being
what,
selfish,
Two,
it's
two
just-
consecutive times you went there and it was
Yeah.
out?
Yes, they were.
Can I tell you that I have dreams now? I have dreams of 21 LaSalle Plaza. You know it's funny because he said I have no sponsors for this show. He's getting one because everywhere you go. I said I have dreams. I wake up in the middle of the night. 21 LaSalle Plaza, Michael's Mediterranean. Do not order the eggplant parm because that's Jim Quinn's. I seriously
Yeah.
wake up.
Well, you know why you do that. Jim, there was one night we did off the cuff and we did a bunch of trivia questions.
Oh, that's right. He gave
Yeah.
away gifts today.
He was giving away gift
I
certificates
know. That's why I
like
can't
crazy.
go there anymore.
And the bad part about that, well, was it just kept staying in his head. So he must have said it in that hour 25, 30 times easy. And
I had the
he
prosecutor
actually-
repeat it and say it. She was giving plugs.
That's pretty good when you can do that, you know?
Say, look, Amber Lynn, she just knew. She was waiting to hear about the eggplant parm.
There it
That's
is.
right. Amber Lynn, you'll have to go with us and have eggplant parm.
So
I had to
you're
set
the
it up.
host. So now you can totally ask these questions and it makes sense now.
Yes.
Let me help you
what'd
on your
do?
instructions.
I don't think you took us off. Or
Actually,
well,
Well, it's over
we're
there.
still
Nothing
on.
can take us off.
No,
Mouse
I'm just
could get
thinking.
see what people are
For
saying.
me, that's
I'm watching us. It's weird.
Yeah, I got to bring it back up, but we'll bring it back.
Go
up.
ahead.
You're watching,
You
right?
want to put the mic down?
I'm going to put the mic down. Matter of fact, I'll give Mr. Quinn the microphone.
Would you like to ask us the questions now?
I probably will at some
Okay,
point.
go
Here you
ahead.
go, sir. You can have that.
Oh, thank you.
You're a
very much.
professional. You know how to do that.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Look at him, look at
Oh,
him.
you know what, John? I forgot. You'd like this. A guy named Kelly Monteith. You'll have to look him up.
Oh, I think I know
Years
what you're
ago, I emceed, when I was your age, Zach, I emceed an event at Vineland High School.
22.
Kelly Monteith was the comedian. So I emceed, and his shtick was, thank you. And you know, you go to a store, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, no, thank you. I mean, that was his whole big thing was
Look at-
thank
look
you.
at- look at-
No,
John's
thank you.
schnick is when your phone rings.
Yes.
He says, answer, I think it's for you.
Yeah.
That's true. I've
That's
seen
true, I've
that.
done
He
that,
says that a lot.
I
Yes,
do.
I do.
And I
remember
tell
that.
him, I go,
There-
of
there it
course
is,
it's for
John. I
me.
see your picture.
Well, you're the only one that notices that. If you watch, if you say that to people, watch the percentage of people that don't get that.
Yeah, no, I get
Really,
it.
there's a lot of people
I get
that.
it.
So yeah, on occasion, and I admit it's a personality quirk. I will do things that I'm looking for the reaction. Nothing overly, abusive or.
John's
overly-
I like your girlfriend though.
John's a
Which
little.
one?
I was going
The
to
one
say
you
same thing.
take to the Wawa
Yeah.
to
Yes.
fill her up.
Yes, I do.
Fills
Well,
her
I
with a lot.
make sure
Doesn't
that-
have to take her to the Wawa. Wherever there's an airtight,
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
we'll
it
fill
could be a
her up.
7-Eleven, could be a service
Yeah,
station.
yeah,
but
well,
we're
it's
not.
got to be someplace that has the air, right?
Absolutely. Well,
The
she's
roast
not
of John
elitist.
Harris.
That's
She's
right.
not elitist,
No,
so
that's
she'll go
true.
anywhere. Yep.
And she's cheap because she doesn't eat a lot.
She doesn't
Yeah.
eat. That's it. Well, that's the thing, Jim.
Well, she can't go to Michael's with us then.
Well, she could go.
Well, yeah, she wouldn't eat the eggplant parm. We wouldn't have to worry about her ordering.
Exactly. That's
She
the
could
one
just
thing.
sit there like a
Check for one,
statue and
please.
say
It's
nothing.
perfect.
The
Yeah.
3 F's with her would just be filler. That's what you use her.
Yeah. Yes.
Filler, feeder, and
Yes,
well, in my
like a
case,
feeder. Yeah.
filler, feeder, and fly away.
No, can't say
Fly
that.
away.
Yeah,
Fly away. That's the third F.
Go ahead. So ask the questions you want to ask. This is a professional interview.
Oh, this is almost a professional interview, right? I am Brian. Is a friend of mine. He actually is the guy that did the Public John logo.
Oh, that's good, Brian.
So,
Nice
he's
job.
good. Yeah, he did a
Yeah.
nice
I told
job.
him the head's a little too big. I said, but I don't think that's a problem. And then he
And
answered.
we stopped.
He said that he's never heard that before, and I said, well, that's a shame. We left it there.
You can tell we're on Facebook Live and
Yeah.
streaming radio, Jim.
Oh, yeah, it's for sure.
Go ahead.
Margie
So
joined.
back to your questions, host.
Well, now that I do have a surprise guest in Mr. Quinn, you've been in this business over 40 years, right?
50 this year.
50 this year.
Yeah, started at WWBZ, and that's where I learned how to say W, because I used to say W. And the program director said to me, "Hey, buddy, you got a college degree, you don't know how to say this letter, which is like this, you know." So I used to say W. WW? He
Yeah.
goes, "No, it's WW. So if you ever see this letter, it's WW.
You'll never forget that, will
I
you?
no, honest to God, John, this was the first. This is funny because at WWBZ, I was doing the news, and the fellow was on the air, and I'm honest to goodness, I'm like this. I'm shaking. My first time on the air, I'm like the paper's shaking, and I go, and the intro was news from. So I go, news from WWBZ Vineland. And he comes in after the news. He goes, "You'll never say that again. It's news from WWBZ Vineland." I said, "Yes, sir." So I
And then you
never
bought
forgot.
the radio station and said,
And after
No,
that,
that one I did not buy.
Oh,
That
you
one
didn't?
I never. No, I thought WMVB, WSNJ, WSKR, WIBG when it was
oh,
out.
I remember that.
Well, yeah, but that's when we grew
Oh,
up.
after,
That was in
yeah.
Philly.
Right.
When I bought it, the call letters, I couldn't afford that one.
Oh.
When I bought it, it was in Ocean City, and
Okay.
that's where it still is.
Okay.
WIBG.
I was just going to say
Ocean
it's
City.
still there, right?
Yes, it is.
when I
Yes.
bought my first radio station.
Oh, this
Remember
was
that?
funny.
And they used to call it when it was in Philly. Remember
Wibbage.
Wibbage.
Yes, Wibbage
Wibbage.
99,
Yep.
and it was 1020 in Ocean City. And it was interesting. I'm ready to make the deal to sell it to this guy, right? And he wanted to pay cash. Well, we were about $25,000 apart on the deal, and I said, "Well, I don't mind carrying paper." No, I want to pay cash. So anyway, we ended up. I took from him a beautiful building lot in Talamincing Trails in the Poconos.
Okay.
And I went up and saw it was beautiful, had deer on it and all that kind of stuff. And then when my partner and I split the business up, I gave him the lot. So that's where the lot went.
Oh, okay.
So that was interesting to try to make the final deal, right?
Oh, yeah. Just anything you can to, to bargain,
Yeah,
trade it
that's
off,
right.
and make it a good deal for both of you.
Yeah. He was trying to give me his wife. I said, "No, I don't want to."
You got to draw a line.
Yeah, that's
somewhere.
right. Got to draw.
I don't
Off
need
the cuff by Jim Quinn.
That's right. Yeah, I love
He
it.
should be happy.
Oh,
Election's over. He's good.
That's what it is. He's relaxed. He's calm. The other part about that too, Jim, is he wanted to give me his wife. If he was trying to give me a girlfriend, that'd be different.
That would be a different story, yeah. But I figured, it
Who
was
never
now.
will.
Yeah. I mean,
It's nice guy.
I've had a couple of wives. Trust me, it's overrated.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So you want to ask questions about what we're doing?
I'm
Did
working
hear
on
from the
that.
sources, man.
I am just, to be honest, I'm really honored that you came in for a couple minutes there.
Well,
Me
it's
too.
great
very
to be
much.
here, John. Thank you. Thank you seriously for all you do for us. I really appreciate it because you come through when we need you. And you and Jay Generone have a good show going, and you and Dennis too.
Yeah.
And
That
it
is
can't be
really
this
fun.
Monday.
Yeah,
though.
this Monday. I'm
That-
all excited, John.
What's
I
this
may
Monday?
have the best guests for people that they've ever seen. I've been trying to get somebody from Jim's Lunch on, and
Okay.
Nikki told me, I got to confirm it, but Nikki told me she could come on Monday nights. I said, "How about this coming Monday?" She said, "Give me a call. I think I can." So we'll see.
Wow.
Kelly Quinn. Kelly Quinn is
Kelly
out there?
Quinn's out there.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
watching her
You know
dad.
her pretty well.
I do, yes. She's the best massage therapist in South Jersey.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I did hear
I
that.
also
is.
heard that she's Jim's favorite daughter.
She is,
I
absolutely.
heard that. I
She
heard
is,
that too.
no question about
Your
it.
favorite offspring.
And for
Favorite
those of you guys,
daughter.
Better sell. That's right. Better
I
not
can't
say
go
offspring.
I've got
That's a
couple other
tie.
wonderful-
favorite
That's
daughter.
a tie.
He'll tell anybody. That's his favorite daughter.
But he's in the top. She's in the top 3.
Yes, she is. That's
There you
true.
go. It's true.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Wildfire Radio. This is what we're on.
This is
cool. This is cool.
wildfireradio.com.
This is
And
cool.
then
Little
Also,
box.
we're going to be on.
That's what that is.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's the
Oh,
whole
there.
podcast box.
Oh,
it's
that's
no
great.
bigger.
That is an iPhone.
Right here,
I know
folks. You
that.
can see that
Yeah.
where my hand is. That little green and black box is actually anything you need to run your own podcast.
Oh.
It makes it portable.
Got
you
excited.
know, yep, it's
That's great.
it's
I thought it was like a little black box, picking anything you need's in there.
You can, well,
Well, I
not that
think my
kind of.
guest is here. I better go. But thank you guys for having me as a part of your show. Enjoy the rest of the time.
Thank you,
Come out and
Mr.
see
Quinn.
me
Appreciate it.
sometime.
We will come back. I might be
Stop
coming out
by.
to see you Saturday, actually.
Yeah, well, I need you Saturday
Yeah,
for
I'll be
sure.
there.
Thank you.
All right.
I'll see
thank
you in a little bit, Jim.
We'll
All
see
right.
you, sir. Have a good night.
Let us know if it gets too loud.
Yeah.
All right, so back to your questions.
So back to your questions. Well, my questions actually. Yeah.
We
That was
lost
really.
half the audience, Jim.
I know. Yep.
They
But
all-
that was really nice of him to stop by. That was
It
really
was.
cool.
I like Jim. He's a nice
He's a good guy. He's all right. One of us has to be a good guy. Might as well be Jim.
I gotta be the bad cop half the time. Jim gets to be the good cop.
Jim gets to be the good cop, and hey, I get the guy you locked up. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have the right to shut up.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you for anybody that was watching with Jim. We hope you keep watching and keep watching Quinn broadcasting shows. They're awesome.
Yeah,
Jim's
no,
on
we're
like
about to get
8
our
o'clock,
competition in about 20 minutes.
8:30. Oh man, yeah. Well, not really.
Yeah.
Facebook Live may be a little competition, but not much. And he'll
Competition never hurt anybody. That's
trounce.
what I
No,
like to
no,
do.
he's gonna trounce me.
I do not. I tell you what. One thing about running a network station, Jenny. Running a network station. Well, not a network station. We're not a network, so I don't even know what I'm running. One thing about running a media company is I enjoy setting trends. I don't like people following the trends. I don't follow trends. I like to set my own. I like to set our own path. One thing I'm blessed about is, this has been a year. It'll be a year next month. A
Okay.
year since this new venture.
Has it been a year since you
it will
started?
be. It will be a new venture, and a year in December since this new venture took off.
Okay.
I'm very, very proud and humbled of our staff. I have the best group of guys. I really do.
And girls.
And girls, yes, correct. And I tell you what, it started off as just as a really an ego fill. Jim wanted to do a show. I wanted to do a show again just to get our feet back into it. And then it turned out to really take off. And Jim looked at me and he goes, I have no interest in going full time with this again. And he
Right.
goes, but if you think you can do it, I'll give you all the support in the world. And around June, we agreed it was time to do it. And we've done really, really well. And I reached out to key clutch people in the beginning, including yourself, to help us paint that vision, to help us paint our vision of a community positive oriented resource
Okay.
for businesses and a really top notch resource based company and a really an employee sharing company in the same way. John, we offer not just video productions, we offer social media management, we brand management, everything else. And what we're doing is we want to be your go-to source. Not just Cumberland County, not just Salem County, but eventually the goal is to be your community-driven resource all over the U.S. Is where we're going. So, like I said, we're very fortunate in the beginning to have people such as Amber and you and Dave and my management style is a little bit unique, I think. But compared to other management leaders in this industry, I feel like we're a little bit different. We if you want to go to 1800s or 1600s or when you're back in the battles of war and stuff like that, I feel like I'm that horse. We'll go into war together, and we're coming out. We're all fighting for the same goal. So at the end of the day, I actually love our staff. It's like a family. It really is.
Cool. So I'm here with Zachary, the Chief Operating Officer of Quinn Broadcasting Company. We got a little visit from the actual president of the company and owner, Jim Quinn, the namesake. And we're already discussing some future projects that we have going on. Let me see. Margie Homan says, what's a typical day behind the scenes for a COO?
Well, titles, John, they're one in a million. I don't call myself the COO. I don't look at myself as the main honcho. This is a team game, and I tell you what, I have a heavy, extensive transportation background, a successful transportation background history, and the one thing that I love about the media empire, the one thing I love about this business is I love the fact that this business is fun. It's legit fun. Every single day is new challenges. We really, we get to go to work every single day. There'll be something new, but it's legit fun. And I told myself, this ever became feeling like a job, or even for any of my staff feels like it's a job. I'm like, you know what, it might not be the job for you if it feels like a job. But, Margie, I appreciate the question. A typical day behind the scenes, I can't answer that question because technically, as of November 1st, 8 days ago, I seriously jumped into my role as a COO. I've been dealing with a sort of little bit of everything between construction and renovations and moving and project creation. But my job pretty much is the forecasting the future of our business and where we're going. So I love the idea of we're going to, we're reaching out, we're broadening, we're going places where some people don't want to go or some people are afraid to go. I feel like everyone in our staff plays a key component. I run, this company runs off of a 3-branch system, John, and we have 3 executive management pieces in place.
Right.
They all are individually in charge of their own areas,
Right.
and they all conversate daily within those 3 areas. So you have, the head of our production team, the head of our sales team, the head of our internet branding marketing team. And all 3 of them communicate. And what you get from that 3-head system is you get really feedback from, different ideas and really growing ideas. A lot of production companies, they look at it as black and white. And this business is anything but black and white, John. It really is. It's, you come up with an idea, it starts on paper, and through your staff, you grow that idea and you continue to progress that idea. And the good thing about what we do is we learn every single time we do something. We really do. And you learn to broaden expectations. You learn that content is something that's so important. And you also learn that, I don't want to be the kind of company that doesn't touch base on things that are happening.
No, that's important.
One thing that we are committed to, especially now during, and it's not so much a rebranding, it's like a coming out party because we're here. We finally are here, and that's one thing that you're going to notice in 2019 from this company is, we're going to be talking about topics during our internal shows that basically people talk about at their dining room table or in their living room, and that's where I want to relate to people. I want to have topics that mean things to people.
Yeah, I think that's important, and seeing the growth of this thing since it started is nothing short of amazing, to be honest with you. And everybody that we have here does really work together as a team. Brian actually stated every hockey team needs a captain. I'm a hockey player, so that's his mindset. And I know where he's coming from. He's obviously, and you were saying the word team all the time. And that's the thing, is everybody has their piece. It's like a hockey team, a football team. You all have a position.
That's how I run it.
Yeah,
I run it more like, I use football, Brian might use hockey.
Yeah,
but,
everybody uses.
Obviously, if you look up in the air, you can see.
Right. It's a metaphor. But
I use a football
the
metaphor.
Teamwork is the issue.
Meaning that, I look at my job, if you look at a football team, I'm like your Howie Roseman, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have the best coaches, and I'm trying to help them create the best staff to create wins.
Yep.
We're not in this to lose.
Yeah.
We are in this for money, but at the end of the day, we're in this for something even bigger. I actually tell one of my interview questions when I meet people are, why are you here? What do you want to accomplish from this? And a lot of people go, money. I'm looking at money. I know I can make this. And I said, money will come. Money will come in any business you're at.
Right.
We're in here legitimately to help people.
Right.
I want to change the stigma of sales professionals. When you think of a sales guy, you think of someone that comes in, he's going to harass, he's going to hound you. No. Our goal is to help. Everyone asked me what I wanted to do when I was younger, and right away I wanted to be a cop. I wanted to help people. But in reality, it's not really helping people to me. It's
it comes down, and a couple of us, Joe's on the line too, if she's still on, she can relate to that. You do get a chance to help people sometimes, but there's also most of the time it's almost like putting out fires.
It is.
Really,
it is.
and just to get people and yourself through the day or through a shift. We're going to shift gears a little bit, but I will say you've done a great job here, Quinn. You, Jim, all the people here, all these folks, and the businesses here have been very receptive to us, and the fact that we help them and they help us.
It's a business with business partnership. That's really what that's what we're designed for, John. Is just for I'm going to shout out Election Day. We had 32 businesses that made it possible, and 32 of them I've contacted since then, and they are so, happy that there's someone out there that really cares. When you get in business, you're smart at what you do.
Right.
Just like we're smart at what we do.
Right.
But that's showcasing them businesses. That's telling, their story. That's
Right.
being positive with their story. But it's also creating a reality and understanding content.
Right.
Understanding content is key. You can have the best video cameras, you can have the best
Well, you
everything
have
in the
best
world.
technical stuff, but if you don't know what to say or do with it, then it doesn't do you any good.
It's all about creative production. I mean, a lot of my stuff, working at Walt Disney World for as long as I worked there, I really learned so much about how to relate to an audience. And I think I showcased that with the entertainment company and
Right.
now showcasing it here. But it's also about finding the best staff that shares your vision.
Right.
And you also share the joyous of winning when you get to that. When you succeed in goals and your staff's with you while you succeed, that's the biggest thing, John. I personally cannot wait to 2-3 years from now, look back at this time and also look at where, your personalities have went. I love hosting a talk show. I love being
I just
a DJ.
have one question.
Go ahead.
How many monsters have you had today?
I've had at least 6.
There you go.
But
there you go, folks.
I love hosting the talk
I know
show.
that's a question that other people were going to ask at some point.
Well, I'm just saying.
But I want you guys need to interact with us a little bit. Please do so because we're ready to answer your questions. Thanks to Chrissy Iacobelli for joining. Iacobelli, she is awesome. This
Is
lady's
she?
awesome. Yes, very
Hi,
nice
Chrissy.
lady. She's come out to some comedy shows. She's actually become a pretty loyal watcher and listener for all of our shows.
Awesome.
So so Chrissy's awesome. And let's see, Bomani, thanks for joining, buddy. Appreciate it. Here's a Quinn guy, Jimmy Church. Jimmy Church has joined in. He says you have a nice office. Oh, he didn't say that actually. That was Jordan Robbins.
Jimmy Church is an amazing human being and a very, very smart individual.
Awesome. Jim Comas joined. Margie apparently is the only one who wants to ask questions or make comments.
What did she say?
Well, a couple other people have. An organization is only great as the sum of its parts. It seems you guys have had the fortune of having a wonderful, talented group of people, together for a common goal. Yep, and we've done that. So, and Zach's discussed that at length. I would say ad nauseum, but ad nauseum usually means something about barfing, and we're not going there. I don't think it's that bad. He's been pretty good. But and only 6 monsters in, so he's a couple underneath the daily limit, I think. So
Actually, I've really calmed down.
Zach, you get philosophical on monsters. Yeah, he does. He gets reflective is probably the
Well,
word.
it's not so much philosophical. It's the fact that,
It's reflective.
look, I put in 80 to 100 hours easy a week, and I do that for a dream. I have the dream on my desk.
Thank you.
But I do it because I legit have found a niche that I love helping people. It's so funny because everyone assumes that I'm DJ Zach or I'm Zach Reed, the personality. And that's not me. It's sort of like a character that I play. I'm not a normal interviewer. It's not a normal thing for me. I have to, just like when you do your comedy, you have to put yourself in that mindset. I have to get into a mindset every time I do a show.
Well, see, the worst thing for me, and you've seen me, that is me.
Yeah.
I'm a miserable smartass, but you know what? I'm fine with that.
You're not.
Come on, stop it.
You're carrying home. You
here's
like
the
to hide it.
folks. Don't listen to him. You guys that know me know different. Okay, so please don't. He's trying to be a nice guy. It's not working, dude.
See, I'm not a nice guy. That's the worst thing.
See, they know that's not working.
See, a lot of people don't understand.
Cut the crap. You know who we're missing tonight? We should have gotten a picture of him
Dennis
and hung it on the wall. Dennis and Growley. We should have had a picture of Dennis up.
Because I could probably get him back.
We could get him back. That's what I'm saying. You could have got revenge.
I probably could have called and had a sponsor the team part
We
of it too.
could sponsor.
My Dennis probably could have
Who's
sponsored.
who's our paper guest for the week?
Yeah.
That would be
Flat
funny.
Stanley to a whole different level.
A
Remember
whole
Flat
different
Stanley?
level. Yeah, it was good. Well, I'll tell you. I don't know. Did you ever see that one?
Which one?
The video for the one when you were here.
No, I did.
Did you?
I did.
Did you like the?
I think I was on my way to the New York Giants game.
You were going. Yes, I think you're on your way. But later on, yeah, Zach was with us in spirit.
I didn't understand how you were doing it.
Oh, we were.
I didn't realize you would cut my teeth.
Oh yeah. Well,
Because my teeth are naturally that white now. So
Yes,
I have
exactly.
No
That's
idea.
what we said. Well, look, here it is. And he went to.
It's not naturally.
He went
white.
to my dentist, and there they were. So that was great.
You know what though?
Hey, Chrissy, what up, girl?
He does a great job. He does a great job.
Yeah.
He does.
He does.
Mine does.
No, he does. And pain free, right?
Yeah.
Close to it, right? Pain free.
The miniseries is actually coming out in the beginning of January.
Okay,
so
there's
it's gonna be
another
pretty
thing, another exciting thing.
cool. One thing I've learned about entertainment is you can only ride a wave for so long. A lot of companies get caught up on that one wave.
Right.
We're multifaceted, and I already have the next year planned out as far as shows and spin-offs and.
Speaking of shows, what other exciting show is going to be taking place?
Well, a lot of things are going to. I guess I can announce it live on your show. We're going to be announcing it next week, but 11/19,
Okay.
the week of the 19th,
Yes.
our Around South Jersey show
Right.
is going to be changing to 7 to 8 p.m.
Okay.
live
7
on
to 8
Channel
live.
190 from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay.
7 to 8 p.m. live.
Wow.
And the way the formats are going to change is that we'll actually have an interview for 30 minutes,
Right.
and then we're going to open it up
Okay.
for interactive interviews.
Okay.
And the Around South Jersey program is going to be more of your politicians, your community leaders,
Right.
people like that, geared towards
Civic leaders and civic
correct,
people. I
and,
got you.
and more things like that. And then our It's Your Time South Jersey show
Right.
is going to be live the same days
Okay.
from 8 to 9 p.m. It
Okay.
will be an hour.
All right.
Same kind of thing where it will be interactive, but it's going to be more geared towards millennials. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to be more geared towards really trying to provide opportunities for people. So
Okay.
an educational factor, but more down to earth. And then of course our off the cuff program, which was our test program for the interactive,
Right.
is really what it was designed for, and,
Right.
and it succeeded well. It really did
Yes.
show us different things.
Yeah, it has one.
Um,
as well.
Our
It's a lot
off the
of fun
cuff
to do.
program is going to be downsized a little bit.
Okay.
It's going to be on Sundays and it's
Right.
going to be on Fridays.
Okay.
So Sunday and Fridays is a Facebook exclusive,
Okay.
96.1 exclusive program, and that's pretty much going to be our lineup as far as our internal lineup.
Okay.
Now we are going to be adding a couple more original contents. Obviously, we found a third host
Really?
during all this problem,
No way.
all these tests.
Who could that have
And,
been?
and so basically, it's sort of maybe taking what you're doing here and growing it on a different kind of level with
Right.
more of a comedic skit and stuff like that. Now we will, like I said, the 19th we are launching the other stuff. So we're gonna it's a trial. We're gonna be live TV, live
Yeah.
every single day.
Nice.
It's gonna be pretty cool to no longer we will have tapings and
Yeah.
it'll be live every single day. And the consistency of the programs is what I'm looking for. Obviously, Around South Jersey will be hosted by Jim Quinn.
Right.
It will always be Jim Quinn.
Right.
It's Your
It
Time
should
South
be.
Jersey will be Zach Reed. It will always be Zach Reed.
Right.
Off the Cuff will be multiple people still.
Right.
But I'm going to use it as a training gateway to
Sure.
train more people, to get different topics and
Right.
to get different people because
Right.
everyone has different ideas.
Yeah.
And then what we're working on with this comic kind of program is more.
And
of a-
who's going to be in there?
It's going to be John Harris.
There it is, John Harris. So that, and actually, I know it doesn't sound all that humble, but I wanted Zach to be the first one to tell you guys officially that the Public John is going to be a televised TV
It
show
will be
as
it
well.
will be a televised TV show with a
TV
real
show
set with skits.
Real set skits, things, some filmed things, and I'm still gonna go out and see people make visits like this one, make visits to other businesses as well, and we're still gonna have the Public John podcast, and we're gonna be available on YouTube, and still gonna be available on Facebook Live, obviously. The podcast is probably going to be separate, even though it'll still be the Public John. Only because of reasons like this. I can look at Zach and go, "What the?" I can say whatever I want at this
I
point.
probably just
We're
went
on
through my
TV.
92.1 feed
Yeah.
right now.
Well, no, I didn't say it though, because you don't want to say shit just to say shit.
I know.
You know what I'm
I
saying,
agree.
Zach?
I agree.
Because that's bullshit.
I know.
You know, so there we go, folks. Yes, he did it. Yeah. All right, but seriously, it was nice to be approached and for these guys to come and say, hey, we like what you do. Write some stuff up. Let's do a comedy show. Let's look on some things, and I appreciate the fact that you guys have that kind of confidence that we can go ahead.
We
and do
knew
that stuff.
what you did.
Margie Holman, congratulations. Thanks, Margie. Thanks to all you folks. Anybody has comments or anybody wants to say, why the hell did you pick that guy? We'll put Zach on the spot and have him answer that for crying out
I mean,
loud.
to be honest, I can answer it right now without you even
Hey,
saying
go
it.
ahead. Why
And
the
that's-
hell did you pick that guy?
And the reason behind it is it's not that we knew the guy you were.
Right.
What impressed me, John, was more of the guy that you can evolve to. You're multifaceted. That is, and you're highly educated too. I mean, between being a cop, being a lawyer.
Oh, for
being
crying
everything
out
that you've
loud.
been.
Jeez, I
But
got
I'm
more
saying
degrees
is-
than your turkey coming up,
But
folks.
I'm saying
by
is
the way.
everyone has the niche that they can do when you're in entertainment, and everyone has an ego when they're in entertainment, and being able to check your ego a lot and being okay with doing multiple things makes you really a unique talent.
Not a eunuch though.
No, not a unique, but a unique talent. So the one thing that you have
I
that
thought he knew something about
that
me.
a lot of the one thing you have that a lot of people don't have is the simple fact that you have the comic side, but you also have a serious side, and you get to the point side. You have an analyst side.
It's all the crap.
I give credit where credit's due. You have all of these
Can I have some credit by the
these
way? I need
facets.
some money.
Well,
Low interest.
I'll double your salary, John.
Awesome. There we go.
But as Jim said earlier,
As Jim
it's
said,
zero.
it's zero. So I don't know.
Like you know, the thing about this industry, John, and this goes from any company, any local company, any big company, is this is a passion-driven industry. And that being said, there's not a lot of money in local TV. There's not a lot of money even in Philadelphia networks. You know, you'd be surprised at some of these analysts how much they really make, but they do it because they either want to report a story, it's their passion.
Right.
They legit get into it wanting to change things. Most people.
Yeah.
The successful ones.
Yeah.
And then as you get bigger, your ego gets bigger, and I feel like eventually money does play a part in it.
Oh, at some
You know,
point,
but
everybody
I mean,
needs to either make a living, and it's unfortunate in our society. Obviously, money plays a big part in how you value and how you think you value yourself.
But there's some things that you don't talk about. Like
Right.
I won't, you'll never catch me in a political conversation or a political debate. Now I know everybody's like, we just saw you cover an election day. Correct, but at the end of the day with the election day, I was straight in the middle. I was asking questions to
Right.
people, the questions that the people, the normal person would want to know, and not so much my views. My views don't matter, folks. My when you host, your job is to tell their story, and then that's what we try to do.
And I thought the coverage it went as well as it could have without the technical glitches. I mean,
Well, like I said,
but you
tech-
know what?
tech things
First
happen.
time around, things happen.
Yeah,
So
I mean, the best part
we
is,
move
John,
on.
all the sponsors got what they were looking for. That's all that matters. And
as long as the sponsors are happy, as long as we put out a good product, as long as we were able, in that case, to inform people what was going on, that's really what mattered. And at the Ramada, to be honest with you, they had a nice buffet, so I was good.
and the cool thing about the Ramada, did you see the picture
I
with
took.
Jim and Kelly
Oh
looking
no,
at me
I
in
didn't.
blue?
Yes. Actually, Josh took that picture. I believe Josh Suey was my
the
producer
first,
that night.
That's the first time
And
that
that was a great.
I looked at that,
That was a great shot.
and I was very, it symbolizes so much. It symbolizes so much things for a great person, in the industry. A lot of people ask me, why did you got away from it? Why did you get back in it? And I got back in it because I care. I care about people.
Yeah.
I care about Jim. I care about his name, his family's name. I care about everyone, really. My whole staff, you could not replicate what we have right now. We have something special. And my goal sometimes is to glue it all together and make sure it sticks together.
Well, we're doing all right. We're hanging in there, and now we're starting to take off and grow. And so I just want to thank Zach and Mr. Quinn for giving me the opportunity to learn how to do some of this stuff. Some of it came kind of natural from old DJ days and doing some stand-up comedy and stuff, which I still do, and put on some stand-up shows. Actually had Zach host one show.
Horrible.
And then no, it wasn't horrible. It's just we didn't have. You were okay.
No, I told you in the middle of that show we should have took it to the laundromat.
Well, that's true. But and actually, the headliner
so did Gerald.
He kind of did.
I think he went there.
I think he went to the laundromat and made sure the shirt was at least dried before he got there. But I will say Zach also he's funnier than he lets on too. We did a benefit show in Tuckerton, and we had a comic who couldn't make it and legitimately last minute due to an extreme circumstance, and Zach comes in to support with Mr. Quinn and Amber Doyle, who was Amber Lynn, who came out to, which was really nice of them in the first place, and then Zach in basketball shorts had the perfect comedic outfit on, so he kind of got drafted into it. And let me tell you something, folks. Put Zach in front of some people, and it was like, boom, he didn't need Monster energy drink.
I killed it.
The adrenaline was there, and you did kill it, actually, and I think that was one of the words we used. He had a great time. He interacted with the audience. He had some material, but he was put right on the spot, and he's not a comic by nature.
Improv is
So a lot of it was
really big
improv and
for me.
interaction, and it was a lot of fun.
You never know what you're going to get. I mean, yeah.
I thought you were going to get a new girlfriend or wife out of that night. But,
Well,
thank God
she would have been at least 80 years old because
True.
that was the
that
median age range.
That was it wasn't a young crowd, but you had a shot.
Do you know what you learn in this business?
No, tell me what you learned in this business.
Is you'll realize in any form of entertainment, you're trained to react.
Right.
The worst always happens. That's what you go in. You go in thinking the worst is going to happen. 9 out of 10 of my career, the worst has never happened for the most part. Even DJing a wedding, you always have fail safes and fail safes and fail safes. We can't, you can never stop.
You can always
that
go to
uncle.
the electric slide.
You can
got
never
a backup
You
plan.
can never stop that uncle.
No.
That going to trip over your power cord and knock everything out.
You can never stop the drunk uncle at Thanksgiving.
And
you
you
just can't.
But just for a weddings example, I've done weddings where both the families hate each other. They can't stand each other.
Yeah.
And my job in that is you become a comedian a little
Sure.
bit. You make some jokes.
You gotta react to the moment a little bit.
I tell people all the time, John, that in entertainment, you get paid to entertain. You get paid to do a job, not to worry about your own feelings that day. I mean, and look at the great entertainers of our generation, John. Look at Robin Williams. Look at people like that who. It's so sad because they find out now that these guys were so depressed and so sad.
And that happens
but
a lot in comedy, and it's not. A lot of comics are fighting demons, and sometimes they're chemical substance, and sometimes that's only because of the other demons they're fighting. And a lot of comics, in all honesty, for them, comedy is therapeutic.
Yeah.
I know.
I get the itch to DJ every once in a while. Man, it's the same thing. A lot of people think they enjoy the ride going up. You enjoy the ride, but you don't really enjoy the ride at the time.
Right.
You don't really realize the ride you had until it starts to go down. I'm very fortunate. Because, when I was 18, 19, 21, 22, I was on top of the world DJing. There was nothing bigger and better than me. But when I was 23, 24, I got married.
Right.
I had kids.
Right. Started to.
And that ride went down. And I was very fortunate, 27, 28, I looked at it different because all of a sudden I'm like, wow, I'm going up again. I'm riding up again. And you're so much more appreciative the second time because it's like, it can end. I know, I just got through doing a 4-day DJ week for Halloween, and I remember Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and 2 gigs on Saturday, and 2 gigs on Friday, and I'm just sitting here like, whew, it's tiring. It's tiring now.
Yeah.
But you enjoy it. You miss having, the only way I can describe the DJing is you have total control of that whole room.
Yeah.
And I control people that are going to dance.
And you know what? It's kind of the same when you're doing a comedy show, or it's kind of the same when I see musicians. At least in the very beginning, when you go up on stage, most of the time that room is yours. Everybody's watching and listening. Even if, like, as a comic, even if you don't hear anything, they're looking at you. Of course, our storyline is you hear crickets. I would rather somebody heckle me or boo me than me hear nothing. Because as a comic, if you hear nothing, that means you're getting no reaction at all. And it's like nothing you're saying is even registering. I would rather have somebody go, you're full of crap, or you suck, or things like that, than somebody just sit there and stare at me. And of course, even before I started doing comedy in life, I was always like that. If I made a joke and you didn't laugh, I'll be honest, it was a compulsion that I wouldn't leave you until I found out what it would be that would make you laugh. And it's a personality flaw, folks, I admit it. There are people I don't know, I'd make a joke and they didn't laugh. Well, I don't want to leave them now because I'm going to make you smile or laugh about something before I leave, even if it's at me, even if it's, I'm super, it doesn't matter.
It's the same thing with DJing. It's, I love bars that have had issues. I love, not so much now, but I used to love bars that, like, had issues and really mixed crowds because my goal of the night became, if I make you tap your foot, you might not dance, but if you tap your foot once, or if I
Right.
get a chuckle out of you once,
Right. I
give my
see you
chuckle.
move. I see you smile. I see you nod your head or back.
I'm
and
so
you know,
fortunate because of that.
sometimes, and you've seen it. Sometimes as a comic, even your premise comes out. I have a couple things where I'll say the premise, which is, and that's the thing, especially in comedy, and you found out. A lot of it, your very foundation or premise of whatever it is you're saying, has some truth in it. You've either made an observation or really have lived part of what you're going to say. And then, of course, you expand on it because you want people to laugh. And
The
entertain.
comedy thing, John. The whole thing. This really happened. Yeah,
Yes,
cut me a break.
Well, no. I'm not saying it happened per se. But
This really happened to somebody, but
I don't think I usually say this is a true story, which a lot of comics go, oh, this is a true story. I don't usually say that. But
I wish I could be like a raunchy comedian.
No,
I do. Listen, I remember, and you know, big shout out to Ken Camp right now, because
Yeah.
Ken Camp's the one that really
He
gave me a
made you on
chance.
stage the first
Yeah,
time.
I had no
at
choice. And-
in Vinyl.
But you know what's so cool about the comedy thing for me?
What was so cool
is
about the comedy?
I
for you?
got 5 or 10 minutes, or I think it was supposed to be 5 minutes, ended up being 10 minutes, just to try it.
Right.
And but the feeling you get when you go on stage is the same with DJing for 4 hours.
Right. When you saw right.
And I don't,
In
have to,
5 or
I don't
10
have to
minutes.
sit there that long, but it feels
Right.
like 4 hours.
Right. But,
But-
how did it feel when people laughed?
The first one I went out and killed it.
You did.
The second one I
was there for
bombed.
both. You didn't. I was there for the second one. I was there for both. You didn't really bomb. You had two things going against you. One, I don't think you really thought you were going to go up and do it that night.
Mm-mm.
And the other part too is that's not your audience. The people that were there the second night
Yeah.
really weren't the type of audience that you would play to.
Well-
And you tried to stick to material.
Mhm.
Now, when you had that same audience in Tuckerton, and it really was a very similar audience,
Mhm.
just bigger, same age group, same similar locale, you went off a little bit as far as off the material because you didn't know,
Well,
weren't prepared.
The best
and
thing
that's not
that,
your fault.
and this is what Ken said, this is what
You
you
got
said.
everybody to laugh.
For me, I have to adjust to in comedy, I'm the type of entertainer comedian that I don't need to prepare a skit.
Right.
I am an improv comedian,
Right.
and I need to go in there and just pick a couple
I
people.
mean, you have a
pick them
couple
apart.
ideas in your head, but
Oh,
don't,
yeah, like-
but look around in the audience, and sometimes, and I do it when you see somebody reacting a particular way.
Mhm.
That's when you go back to them later. Like, well, I won't say that. Well, some of you know about the whole inflatable wife thing,
Fire trucks.
right? Fire trucks, all that. So I did the inflatable wife thing that night, and saw this one woman who really was reacting to it, and that's when I said, "What's your name?" And she said her name. I'm like, "Oh, hey, that's my wife."
Yeah, I remember that
Like,
night.
You know, by looking around the room.
I made a joke that night about, people honeymoons or something.
Right.
In Motel 6, they have everything or something like
Yeah.
that. And I remember I said something like, "Yeah, everything including crabs," or
Including
something
crabs.
like
Right.
that.
See, right.
And then you segue it. You segued it to the fact where, I remember the one guy in the audience, like, anybody been married? Anybody been divorced?
Yeah.
Is that X right here right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just
You know
start
what?
asking questions. You really feel it out.
Are you not raising your hand because you're afraid it's going to cost you alimony?
But
I mean,
it's, but it's a controlling voice. I think if you can dictate a crowd, you can. Entertainment's entertainment. The art form of entertainment is you're entertaining them. You're making people forget their problems,
Right.
whether it be an hour, whether it be a 4-hour show. That's the goal. The
Right.
goal is people are paying money for
Right.
you to make them forget about what they're going through in their life, to show them a good time, no matter
Give them
how you feel, no matter
it's
what
a
you're
little bit
doing.
of time out of the house, and they
It-
are
it
looking
is
to
the-
relax and smile and have a good
Yeah.
time. In that case, they also got a dinner because it was a fundraiser, so they're already doing something that makes them feel good. So do your best to give back to them
Correct.
in that situation.
And
that
that's
worked out
that's what I've
really
always
a great
liked.
night.
Even during the, how do I say this? Entertainment never leaves me. As much as it's a curse a lot. It's a lot of time it's a curse.
I've read that.
But it never has truly left me.
Right.
I went through a rough time 3.5, 4 years ago, and I relied on it. Even though I was dying inside,
Right.
it allowed me to escape.
It does that. Sometimes you do that. It's like
You're held at
most
a higher
entertainers,
standard.
especially comics. We get very nervous before you get on. You get very anxious.
I envy
And
comics.
then the minute you go on stage, it's like I'm releasing all
Yeah.
of that now.
See, I envy you
And
guys. I
even
really
if
do.
even if you didn't do that well,
Mhm.
you got a reaction or something, and you got to find out what worked and what didn't.
Yeah.
I have one bit that I don't think you've ever heard, and I'm not going to do it all here.
No, don't do it.
I'm not, but some people have heard it, and as soon as I say 110%, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I did that bit 2 or 3 different ways before I really realized a couple times that it worked. But there's a way you have to do it, and that's almost the way with any joke, and it's the way with DJ. I used to do it with Red, did some weddings.
Oh, I can
a
actually
long
announce something
time
else
ago.
on your show. Now
So
you
I
put it in
mean,
my head.
there you go. If you're out there with no energy doing certain things, it's not going to work. You
Yeah.
got to be high energy. And that bit was the same. It's like I came out and went, you can't. And remember, folks, they tried to lecture on it and say you can't give 110%.
Yeah.
Got a couple chuckles. Said the same exact words. About a week later, somewhere else went, you can't give 110%. You can't do.
Yeah.
People went nuts. They loved it. So it's like you learn that, you play with that, you have that, and you work through it. But still, when you're on stage and you get to say what you wanted to say, no matter what happens, you feel pretty. The only way you would feel bad is, like I said, if your whole set was nothing but crickets.
I love, like I said, I envy you guys. I envy you guys because, I watch, like, Foul Mouth Al.
Right.
And people like that. Like,
Yeah.
you guys go on rants on your social media.
Oh, God.
You sort of, your social media is also your personality. And I know that's not who you guys really are. I understand it. But for me, I'm jealous. I am so jealous of you guys because you guys can say whatever the heck you want. It's okay.
And
Me, I have brands behind me.
Some
I
of
have
the
everything
comics
behind
I've
me.
met, so many of them are so quick.
We have 4
It's
minutes, I think, right?
Well,
Is
there's some freedom. I
Okay.
mean, if it goes over a couple of minutes, it's okay.
I want to make an announcement because I am bound for time and I do
Okay.
want everyone
Nope,
to
go
turn
ahead.
over to Jim Quinn when we're done here.
Yep.
But one good thing about this is I started DJing at 14 years old. I remember this was part of the thing you wanted to do was this, and I wanted to announce this on your show. This is one reason why I agreed to come on here.
Uh-huh.
I was 14, 15 years old when I started DJing, and I'm so blessed to have cut grass, to make money,
Right.
to buy my first DJ set, to go to Cowtown and piece it together, to end up in Orlando, Miami, Virginia, Northeast Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Ohio, upstate New York City, Connecticut, Maine even. And I'm so blessed that over 12 years that I've got to DJ for all these people. I really am. I've been a part of people's weddings, I've been a part of people's anniversaries, I've been a part of people's 40th birthdays, kids' birthdays, everything. And the relationships that I've forged, I will, never, ever forget. I was very, very, I called it quits 3 years ago. I was done. I'm so fortunate that I got to rebuild up. I really am. But, after doing the Halloween stuff and pretty much layering down, I have 3 more gigs in the month of November.
Okay.
The last 3 months, I've been saying no to everything after 2018.
Okay.
And a lot of people think you're crazy and everything, but I reached the pinnacle. I don't want to get bigger than what I got. And I'm actually supporting so many younger DJs now and helping them and I like that role. I like the teacher role. I like the promoter role. I like the helping them role. But the real weird thing I wanted to do on your show is I'm appreciative for everything that everyone's done for me, the opportunities that I've had.
Right.
But it does come a time. I look in the mirror every single day. I see myself getting older. I look at my daughters who are 6 and 5 years old, and my life's finally going somewhere different to where we're slowly letting go. And I'm gonna announce for you that I was going to make a last time in Millville thing in August. Okay, it didn't turn out. They booked me for 6 more gigs, and he paid me enough to where I couldn't say no.
You couldn't say no.
But after the last gig on November 30th,
November 30th, there it is.
November 30th. After the last gig on November 30th, that will be my last public event DJing.
Okay.
That will be my last.
So DJ
Hurrah.
Zach is going to be.
DJ Zach is gone.
No,
It's
as
completely.
of November 30th.
NJ Premier DJs has officially been sold.
Okay.
It's
I was
no
going to
longer.
ask you
It's
that.
no longer. I
You're
no
not
longer will be.
Running
will
it,
be
involved, nothing?
I'm
I guess
because that's the only way to get out
congratulations
of
are
it. That's the
in
only
order.
way.
Right, you have to, if you're going to do that, you got to cut ties.
One of the guys that mentored me, and one of the guys that I looked up to, Daryl Burnett, did the same exact thing. And he's right. When because if he had it there, he would still do it. So I'm 100% happy for where my career has taken me, but I'm 100% up to new challenges and the new challenges of running this place.
Right.
The new challenges of focusing on one show.
Right.
That's fine. I want to do that show.
Right.
The new challenges of stepping back and being behind the scenes.
Well, that's
and
I predicted that you'll do it, but I do predict that that'll be tough for you because
No.
you're not.
no,
Yeah.
I'm so fascinated with the way TV works.
Right.
I am so fascinated with the way radio works. I'm
Right.
so fascinated with cameras and stuff like that. I love that. That's like my crack, I guess.
Right.
But I'm more fascinated on making
No,
a change.
Monster is your crack.
Yeah, I guess. DJing has allowed me the opportunity to build my brand,
Right.
to build the Zach Reed brand.
So will you still be sponsored by Monster?
No, I did
Personally?
not.
Are you
Actually,
losing
I am after the end of this year. I'm not renewing it anyway.
Wow.
But there's
You heard that here
there's my free
first too.
monsters.
There
But
goes your free monsters, right?
but I'm 100%. Yeah, no. But I'm 100% satisfied. I'm so at peace with myself, John. In 3 years, I mean, obviously everyone knows about a year ago I almost died. Everybody knows. But my eyes opened up.
Right.
And life's short. I'm looking at my 6 and 5-year-old going, I'm never gonna get this time back.
That's very important.
And I'm ready to just still slow it down.
That's-
I don't want to DJ
Yeah.
as much because it's not fun for
Right.
me.
And that's the key to the whole thing too. For instance, like I'm still having a blast doing comedy,
Yeah.
and I don't know if that'll ever go away at some point. But there are days when you put on shows, it's like, holy moly! But then at the end, it's worth it. But to me, still,
I
but
like
the
comedy.
minute that I'm
I'd
tired
rather
of it-
show up and do a comedy skit for 8 minutes
right.
than
And I would-
DJ for 4 hours. Cause
Yeah, exactly.
You know my real eye opener was, John. A week and a half. I was on the fence, and a week and a half ago, I'm DJing. And let me tell you something. I still got it. When I want to give it, I still have it, and it was great. But I'm disconnected.
Now, where is November 30th?
I'm at Bojo's for the last.
Bojo.
Listen, where it started.
We're
Where it started
gonna
at
get
14
some
years old.
people together.
Okay.
Go out November 30th and have
Well, it's
a
the whole
party at
month. At the
Bojo's.
17th
It's your
to
last
30th.
one.
Yeah.
So the DJ retirement party,
Yeah.
November 30th at Bojo's. Mark it on your stinking calendars, folks, because even I'm going to come out and sacrifice myself and probably have a couple of drinks. I know you guys won't believe that.
It's gonna be sad, but like
But
I
yeah.
have found a business partner to really take it and run with it,
And that's good.
and that's where it's gonna be. You know what I mean? Like it's funny because Jimmy Church, big shout out to I blew speakers back in August. I blew some speakers,
Oh,
and
no.
Jimmy goes, "What are you gonna use?" He's like, "Why aren't you buying new speakers?" Because we're all connected.
Because you're
I was
right, yeah.
just because I knew then
You don't really want. You're not invested.
I don't want to buy them.
You're not invested, so you didn't want to invest.
I'm ready to
So.
to
Ride off
come
into the
in
sunset?
and do this, and I'm getting more involved. And I'll be honest with you guys, pay attention because political wise, you'll be seeing something in January.
There you go.
So
there's another announcement too.
I am ready to step back.
Move forward and step back at the same time.
I want to help people grow. I want
Yeah.
to grow the John Harris brand. I want
Who
to grow.
doesn't really?
I want to
Seriously.
grow the Monster Factory
I
brand.
know I do.
I want to grow the My Dentist brand. I want to grow people's brands. I'm okay with seeing a credit that says executive producer on a show
Right.
that I helped put together. That's so much more fulfilling now, and it reaches so many more people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I'm fortunate. I'm one of the few DJs I'll DJ, and there'll be 120 people there. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's time, and I know that was part of your thing earlier when you messaged me was we were talking about DJing. There's really nothing to
Right.
talk about anymore.
Well, I
It's-
didn't know that for sure.
it's,
I had some inkling of it, but I didn't know if you had your gigs coming up and things like that.
There's 3 left, folks, and you can
Okay.
NJ Premier DJs check us out.
Awesome.
Like I said, I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that made it possible. DJing is a hard life. It's a hard life. You were
not.
stigmatized as certain ways.
Just a
and
party boy.
it's hard to have a
don't take anything
it's
serious.
hard to have a relationship.
I think
People
of
don't
DJ
realize who
as
you really
sleazy.
are. They know who
No.
DJ Zach is.
Yeah.
That's not me at all. But I really am appreciative for all the opportunities, and that's one thing I can tell people that somehow magically over the past year I've become the voice of millennials, and I don't understand how. I don't get it.
DJing's part of that.
But let me tell you something. I take it. I will take
Oh,
it.
sure.
I take it with great responsibility. And I'm telling you right now, folks, here's the thing. Here's the thing about real life. There's opportunities. They present yourself to people. To every single day you have opportunities. They might not be the opportunities you think that they are at that time because opportunities disguise themselves. But they all lead to something bigger. If you want to be something, if you want to be a certain person, the only person that's stopping you from your future is yourself.
And on that note, right there, the public John is going to wrap this puppy up. We just want to say thank you, folks, for tuning in. We will be on again later in the week. I'll try and give you some more notice, folks, when we're going to have a couple shows. But we had a couple technical issues here with the thing I had to work out myself, and they weren't technical from Wildfire's point of view. I think they were me not knowing that reading is fundamental, but we got there. I would say what kind of fundamental, but you'd have to add a second F to the riff word. And I think it should be a word, by the way. Riff should be in the dictionary.
It should be. YOLO's in the dictionary
You know
now
what I
because
mean?
of Drake. Drake put YOLO in the dictionary.
There you go.
But I'm very happy to be on your show.
Thank you.
Hopefully this
Thank
is your
you for
most
coming
watched
on.
show. It looks like it from what I'm looking at.
It looks like we're going to be all right.
Proud of it.
Chief Operating Officer, Quinn Broadcasting Company, Zach Reed. Thanks, Zach, for your time. Thanks for all you've done for Quinn. And Zach Reed, Chief Operating Officer, folks, right there. See? It's official.
Thanks for coming to me. I love service where they just show up here.
Just show up.
I mean, your office is sort of right next to mine.
I know, but I'm taking this. I took this office over, so this is pretty good. Thanks, Zach, for being on. Thanks for your input. Thanks for all the stuff you've done.
Facebook Live people tune in right now. Quinn Broadcasting
Yes.
page. Check out Jim Quinn.
Jim Quinn
He's on hour number
right
1.
now. Thanks for announcing the TV show. Appreciate it. Coming up. This has been The Public John, wildfireradio.com, iTunes, Facebook Live, on the Public John Facebook channel as well. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon.